Hello everyone, hope you are doing great. In this particular tutorial, I just wanted to share you my experience about the Supabase broadcasting and Supabase presence for creating any kind of real-time application. It can be the real-time chat application, a real-time text editor application. So on the screen, you can see that I'm logged in and the authentication is also implemented using a Supabase. And here I have used Quill text editor to create a new document, and below is the document which I have created, which is related to this particular user who is logged in. Okay, and the most important feature of this particular app is that we can share any document with another user. So another user have to sign up and should be existing in the database, which I'm using Supabase in this case, and if it exists, we will be able to share it with other users. You can see that this particular document is something which I've already shared with this email ID, and I'm able to access this particular document on another browser. I'm logged in with that email ID, and now that particular document is accessible to me over here. Okay, and you can see that it is showing shared with one user, and shared with one user, obviously it was already shared by the owner, and the owner is the one who will be able to delete a particular note and will be able to share his document with other users. The users who is not the owner will not have access to the deletion or sharing functionality. So if I open this document over here on this particular tab and open this document over here as well, and now you can see that it is showing the icons over here, although I'm using my email IDs in both the cases, so it's using you. So all the users who are currently accessing this document, currently two users have access to this document, their icons will be showing over here, and these icons are shown to this particular user because he is the owner of this document, and it is on the right side. The deletion and sharing functionality is not visible. Now the cool thing is that as I'm going to write down something on the left side, you will see that on the right side other user is continuously getting updates quickly. This is the real-time updates, and this is what I was exploring with the help of Supabase Presence and Supabase Broadcasting. Okay, and I'm not going to be like building everything from scratch. The authentication using Supabase is something which I've already created tutorial on, and if I show you my channel, this is the tutorial which I have already built. Login, sign up, verify email, protect routes, authentication with GitHub or other social media providers, forget reset password. Everything is explained in this particular tutorial. I used this code base to create this particular application. Okay, and what you need to do is you just need to clone the repository which I've already built for this particular application, and I'm going to explain you how you can run this application locally in your system. I'm using Prisma ORM for building the database schema for this particular application. This is just to show you my experience with Supabase Presence and Supabase Broadcast, and you can go through the documentation. It's quite awesome, and we can use these features to actually build any kind of real-time application. It uses WebSockets and whatever. It can be the chat application, it can be the real-time code editors, real-time paint, like a Figma clone or something like that. You can use these features to implement such kind of applications. So I have actually given the link of this repository, real-time editor Supabase Next.js. I have given the link of it in the description of this particular video. You just need to go ahead and clone it in your local system. And once you clone it, this is the code base that you will get. I'm going to explain you everything that I've written over here. So what you need to do is you first need to create a env file, okay, in this project. And in the env file, you need to create a new project in Supabase, and you need to create these kinds of variables. All right. And don't use mine because I will be disabling my Supabase project after this tutorial. In fact, you have to create Supabase project yourself. In fact, if I go over here, these are the three database schema which I've created: user profiles, documents, document shares, and also authentication is added over here. So whenever you are going to create a new project in the Supabase, you need to go to the connect, And in the connect, you will have to go to the ORMs and select Prisma, and then copy these everything that is added over here. And these are the two things which I have just shown you, so you just need to paste those two URLs over here. Above three things is something you can copy. When you create a new Supabase project, it will show you the Supabase URL, Supabase anonymous key, and the Supabase service role key. Okay, this is something which you can get while creating a new project, but if you are not able to find that out, I think we can actually go to the project settings. I think we can go to the data API. All right, in the data API, here this is where you can get these information. So in the URL, you can copy from here. Anonymous key you can copy from here. You can reveal the secret key and you can paste that in the third variable. This is all you need to do after creating .env file. Okay, and here you can see that I have created this schema for this project, and it contains this user profile, document table, and the document share table. And this is actually maintaining who will have access to a particular document. Okay, so then I have these types, then I have created this Prisma client, and this is all related to the authentication for the Supabase. So I have shared with you this public repository, this pre-built project for free, and in return I only want to request you guys to subscribe my channel and like my video. I don't need anything else. Okay, but before that, after you configure this env file, let me explain you how you can run the project. First of all, you need to run npm install. Okay, if you are using Next.js version 15, you might also need to add hyphen force after that. Okay, it might prompt you to add these things, these flag. And then after installation, what you need to do is you need to actually go to the package.json file, and we need to generate this Prisma schema, and then we need to push it. So I'm just going to show you. So you need to run npx prisma generate command locally in the terminal of your code editor. And once it gets generated without any error, after that you need to run this command npm run prisma :push, and this is going to trigger this particular command prisma db push. Okay, so this is going to create the schema, the architecture that we have built over here, and it is going to be added in this Supabase project. And to confirm that, you will have to go to the table editor, and if you see these three documents created over here, it means that these two commands, npx prisma generate and npm run prisma :push, actually worked well. Okay, and if I go to the package.json, you can see that I've already installed the Prisma Lodash Quill. This is something which I'm using for this text editor over here. But in Next.js 15 version, in latest React, this React Quill does not work well. So I have to use the React Quill new package to actually make it work. Otherwise, it is going to throw an error. All right. So other than this, you will see different things from the Supabase, which are the presence and broadcasting, which I'm just going to show you. So here we have this auth.ts. It contains all the server actions for authentication, like login, sign up, and all these things. And then this is the documents.ts. It contains all the queries from the database to get the document, to share the document, to get all the sharing happening, like get document, create document, update document, delete document, share document. What else we have? Yes, remove share. And this is the type, because we are using TypeScript, so you can go through it. I'm just sharing this whole project for free with you guys. You can just check that out. I'm just explaining you how you can run it and understand it, and from here you can proceed further and create some big application on top of this particular code base. Okay, so now once you actually configure it, you will have to run after npm run prisma push, you just need to run npm run dev, and this project is going to be run, and user needs to sign up on this URL, and they can then go to the documents page. Currently I'm not running, I just stopped it, and from the documents page, this is where we can actually create different documents, start sharing and collaborate with other users on this particular document sharing application. And this is the main component. If I go to the document, this is where I'm showing all the documents, including the quill editor. And you can see that I'm dynamically loading a React Quill from the React Quill new package, and I'm disabling the SSR because it uses some hydration events that needs to be attached after the page is loaded. So I have to disable the SSR for this particular package. And then I'm using this React Quill package over here. And we are putting the content, all the state management is happening over here. And then below this, I'm just loading all the documents which are added in the DB. Okay, so where is that? So this is going to be the share dialog, which I just showed you, where we can share it. And then we have this delete and share, and this is the documents.map array which I'm loading, and it is currently fetching the data from DB, and it is showing over here. And I'm calling the, let's go above, fetch documents. Yes, so here I'm just calling that server action get documents by calling the passing the user.id, and it is returning me docs. I'm setting the local state. So this is where I'm loading all the documents, and then I can go to this page.tsx file. It is the single document page where user can write content on the document, and this is the main file document editor. And if I go to the top, you can see that I have actually used this real-time channel, okay, from the Supabase /JS to actually implement the broadcasting and the presence provided by the Supabase. Okay, and if I go down, these are some main functions which I can show. So document presence is something which is the type of TypeScript, and Supabase.channel is one of the main function which actually enables the presence and enables the real-time updates to the other users. And this is where we are just setting up the presence and real-time channel. Channel is being broadcasted, and then we are actually handling the live caret. Then we are fetching the content and the user info to show at the top bar the icons of the user who is actually viewing the document. CRUD operation, save, delete, share is happening over here, and broadcast content changes is happening over here. All right, you can go through it, you can understand it by going through the documentation of it. All right, and I wanted to actually go through the whole project and wanted to write the project step by step, line by line for you guys, but it could take a couple of hours to create such kind of application. So I thought to better give you the whole code base so you can understand it yourself by going through the documentation, because self-learning is one of the most important thing in the technology world. So let me know what do you think about this project and this cool feature provided by Supabase Presence and Broadcast. Let me know in the comments below, and again, do subscribe my channel and like my video. This is all I want from you guys, and I'll keep on creating more videos on the AI as well as Supabase in Next.js projects. And if you have any recommendation for me, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, guys. See you in the next video.